Sound the alarms. We have another top sleeper in the 2025 rookie class. It's wide receiver Jaylen Royals out of Utah State. We're going to get into his tape. We're going to get into his stat profile. He's a really exciting under the radar player, but we know, John, that it can be risky when you dip into the group of 5 level of competition. So in this episode here, we're going to dissect whether the risk is worth the reward on the wide receiver out of Utah State.
Over the past 5 years, I've been tracking the fantasy success at the NFL level of the players between the Power 4 and the G5. And the reality is that the G5 players just don't come through enough from a fantasy football perspective, Matt. And I'm just going to go back to the last 2 seasons. There have been 5 players at the G5 drafted on day 1 or 2. That's rounds 1 through 3. In 2023, it was Nathaniel Dell, Rashee Rice, and Trey Tucker. Last year, it was Malachi Corley and Luke McCaffrey. Matt, not an exciting bed of talent so far at the NFL level. Now, Rice and Dell have definitely showed promise, but injuries have derailed the 2 young men, and we're just crossing our fingers down the road here. The others, I'm not going to say that they're done yet, but they haven't popped like some of the other youngsters. And I actually watched a lot of Trey Tucker with Las Vegas because he got an opportunity late in the season. Not overly impressed. Let's just leave it at that. In 2023, I saw Jaylen Royals for the first time ever live at the Rent when he played the Yukon Huskies. Matt, he was 7 for 185 and 3 touchdowns. He was amazing in that game, right in front of me. And I had to come home and I had to look him up immediately because he was not on my radar. He literally had done nothing before that game. I looked him up, and in high school, he was a 2-sport competitor in football and track and field. And we always love those track and field athletes on the football field. And I found out he was an all-state high jumper in Georgia. But, Matt, he didn't really get any interest from major colleges. He ends up enrolling at Georgia Military College in 2021. 7 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. At least he got on the field, but not very eye-opening for sure. In 2022, the young man transferred to Utah State, and he did not record any stats coming out. So right away, we have 2 years on campuses, and he basically has not done anything. Then he pops in the Yukon game. And by the end of the 2023 season, he was probably the most reliable pass catcher for the Aggies, Matt. 71 catches for 1,080 yards and 15 touchdowns. What was really impressive, he averaged 15.2 yards per catch. He had 400-yard games and 7 touchdowns over 50 yards. He was named first-team All-Mountain West and third-team All-American. He had NLI opportunities with P4 teams, Matt, but he remained at Utah State. And last year, he played in only 7 games before suffering a season-ending foot injury. He immediately declares for the draft, and he finished the season with 55 catches for 834 yards and 4 touchdowns. I love how he played. I love the tape. He's competitive. He's big, fast, strong. But in the back of my mind, I have to understand that he played at the G5. Now, I know you also looked at the film, Matt. What do you say about this young man?
Yeah, some really fun film for Jaylen Royals. And just to kind of set up what we're going to be looking at here in a second, Royals has an excellent release, and you're going to see him consistently separate. One thing you're going to notice about his tape is he gets a lot of yards after the catch, but notice the way that he gets the ball. It's not on manufactured targets. He's getting it in the short field and doing a lot with it afterward. But it's not short. It's not manufactured, because that's a huge thing we talk about here at the Rookie Big Board. So let's go ahead. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention about his tape before we get into it. Not a, you mentioned it, John, not a ton of high-level competition, but we are going to watch his Boise State film. And that was probably his best game of the season. It was his toughest competition that he played throughout his career. So at least against the highest level of competition that he had, he did play very well. So let's go ahead. We're going to get right into it here, talking about Boise State and talking about his ability to catch the ball here and start moving after that first catch. Really consistent, reliable hands from Jaylen Royals. That's something you're going to see super consistently here.
That was a mean slant.
Yeah, and look at him hold on to that contact. I mean, he got popped. His helmet came off. He attacks the ball at the catch point. That's one thing I really like about him. There's a reason he's able to look at this downfield, by the way. He always has a step. He shakes off that Boise State defensive back, and he just continues. He's got really good long speed.
There we go.
In the short field. And look at this. He's slippery after the catch as well. He shakes off that Boise State defender, keeps going. But look at him. He always attacks the ball, John, and he always is winning body positioning. That suggests he can translate to the next level. And look at that long speed here. Shakes a couple Boise defensive backs, and he's jogging to the end zone, man. And I love the way, by the way, with a little attitude, he looks back at him. He's like, hey, you going to catch up? Look at this. It's consistently with a step, and he's consistently going after the ball. You're going to see here, he's very fluid moving east and west. I like his ability to win consistently with a sharp first step. I'd say he's potentially got the best first step in this wide receiver class, and I know that's a strong statement to make. After the catch, he's not just slippery and elusive, but he's got good field vision. He's confident with where he's going, and he's always scrapping for extra yards. Look at him. Absolutely shakes that New Mexico defender there. And you can see, John, sometimes it's unquantifiable, but guys who just look fast and make it look easy, it really does make a difference. And another time of like, that's not blown coverage. That's absolutely shooken off coverage. And a great post route here. He's going to continue downfield again after the catch. By the way, folks, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, that quarterback is really good. He's not. That's Spencer Petras, the guy who had to transfer down from Iowa. So it's Royals really helping him out there. He's able to win that jump ball there with a little bit of touch and lead. Again, he's just winning in a variety of ways here. If you're thinking to yourself, why is he showing that same play of him shaking off Boise defenders and running downfield? I'm not. That's a different play here.
That was his best game.
Yeah, he's a really well-rounded prospect. And so what John is mentioning here about, that translation from the group of five, that's absolutely real, and that's absolutely worth taking into consideration, and that should be baked into his ADP. But when you watch his film, it's hard to not get excited, and it's hard to not see a player with a high level of upside. But John, there is no better upside than joining us over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. You're going to get yourself access to our rookie rankings with over 80 rookie profiles already written for this year. You're going to get access to the dynasty rankings, the Devy rankings that are all directly equivalent, so you can compare a freshman in college to a 15-year NFL pro. We do one-on-one draft strategy calls to help you with personalized advice. The Rookie Big Board Discord, 365 days, 24 hours a day advice for you, personalized to help you win your rookie drafts. So much good content coming your way. We got the rookie guide coming out soon. If you've been watching all these rookie profiles, you're enjoying them, you're learning something new, I promise you will learn a whole lot more, and you're going to be prepared to win your rookie drafts and win those Dynasty Fantasy Football Championships. Join us over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard, and you can save now 15% with that annual membership. All right, John, that's the film. A lot to be excited about here. But when it comes to the stat profile, keeping in mind that group of four level or that group of five level, the stats really do mean even more.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to mislead anyone. I do like them, but I probably have them lower than most just because of the historical challenge of coming out of that level. If you listen to NFL scouts and big-time analysts, there is a lot of discussion about Jaylen Royals, which sometimes can give you a hint that he might be a day two pick. I'd love to see him in the second round. I'd be more bullish, but definitely I think he goes in the third round. First thing I think that jumps off, Matt, he's 6'2", 205. I mean, he literally does have that really nice NFL body and frame. In 2 seasons, he had 126 career receptions. If he had remained healthy, or if he had played maybe a third season, he would be smashing some numbers in the box scores here. 15.2 yards per catch. Now, we did see some yak yardage. I don't know if that'll always translate to those massive numbers at the NFL level. The safeties are quicker, the corners are better tacklers, but it's still very impressive, Matt. 71% catch rate. You mentioned it, Spencer Petras, not the most accurate quarterback who's ever played in college football. That's an impressive number. I think he has good hands. 33% team dominator. That's just spectacular. And then he's receiving yards per team pass attempt, 2.48. He's in the margin of error. I'm looking at my benchmark of 2.5. So my model says he can play in the NFL. I like him, but most importantly, Matt, should our viewers like him?
Yeah, so hopefully the question that our viewers and listeners have been asking this whole episode, right, is what's the cost? Because we're talking about there's upside and we're talking about there's risk. And that's what we do here at the Rookie Big Board. We put the proper value, the proper cost of every rookie in the class. And with Jaylen Royals here, I think his proper cost is going to be 209 to 212. It's the back end of the second round. And the reason I say this back into the second round, it could even be into the third round, because I'm calling this the choose your adventure part of your rookie draft, right? Because there is a really strong middle group of this wide receiver class in particular. Some of the guys that we've already done rookie profiles on, some of the guys we will be doing rookie profiles on. You have Jaylen Royals, you have Alec Eomanor, you have Xavier Restrepo, Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, right? These are the types of wide receivers that are going to be jammed into that part of your rookie drafts. And it's going to be about who your league mates like. So if this is me, right? If I'm sitting there in the back end of the second round, that's the right risk point, because where I think Jaylen Royals can land in terms of fantasy production is in a very similar way to how you see Calvin Ridley function in an NFL offense. High possession guy, really good number 2 wide receiver on an offense, right? When Calvin Ridley has an X to open up the field, then he's even more dangerous. But even in Tennessee, where he's kind of been, especially the second half of last season, the target, if he's a high volume guy, he's going to have a high catch percentage, maybe not the touchdowns, but he can really perform as a consistent wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, which means he's going to be a starter in your fantasy football lineup. And if you could get that in the back end of the second round, if he hits, that's the right value point for me. That's the right risk point for me. I do think he's going to get day 2 draft capital, which is definitely going to help his, overall profile and maybe push up his ADP a little bit. I love that the jury is still out and that there's 2 sides to this conversation, because it just emphasizes how many options you have in the middle rounds of your rookie drafts. And we're going to be here to help you navigate those parts of your rookie draft with even more resources and personalized, tailored advice for that part of your rookie draft, available again over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. I really encourage you folks, if you're enjoying this content, if you're learning new things from these rookie profiles, it is worth the $5 a month or saving 15% off that annual membership. With from the FF Educator and the Gridiron Scholar, class is going to be in session all draft season long, and we're going to be back real soon with another rookie profile.